Hey guys, Mather here once again with the follow-up video on the Arc and Reap Ignite Extreme Life Stacking Scion. So as mentioned in the previous video and gone over in quite a lot of detail, we do stack life. We use the new staff, Burden of Shadows I think it's called, and that gives us a lot of extra chaos damage. And the character was basically Arc throughout most of its life after I settled on a few skills or tried a few skills and then settled on Arc and Val Arc for general mapping, clearing, and even bossing up until the Ubers of the game. So prior to the Ubers, you have Arc, and it does 5 million Ignite DPS comfortably. It can take on all Guardians, and it does respectable enough damage by itself. But once you get to the Uber stage, you do probably want to move into something with a lot more Ignite DPS, and that's when I started doing Reap and also dabbled in a little bit of Flame Blast, which I'll show you in just a second. But as you can see, the Arc gameplay with the Ignite, with the Prolif, feels extremely satisfying, extremely potent, and just an absolute dream. The big issue is, of course, Dissolution of Flesh, that 30% more life jewel that then reserves life as you get hit. For some situations, it can definitely get very uncomfortable, and I can imagine a lot of people will not enjoy what is going on with this style of play and build. Basically, if you keep getting hit and never have a 2-second window of not getting hit or getting damaged even, so we're talking just damage over times, little bullshit like that Maven does, all kinds of stuff like that. If you never get that window, then you're just constantly degenning, and it does feel pretty bad, and you can just get caught up in some situations where you're basically just getting gunned down constantly, and even though you've got 22,000 life, it will just kind of melt away eventually, because no recovery means death. Unless we're a lot faster or, something like that, which we're not. But either way, I enjoyed the playstyle well enough. It's unique, it's different, and then ultimately, as you can see, our Ignite DPS becomes pretty respectable. So the build ended up taking on all the content I could throw at it. I was never going to try a Simulacrum because, as you could imagine, Dissolution, Simulacrum, gonna be a bad fucking time. But we did Uber bosses, and it's probably the smoothest Ignite build I've taken to proper end game in memory anyway. I don't really remember having an Ignite character doing Ubers and all the end game better than this. Just either DPS wise or playstyle comfort, because you do have a lot of life to leave you with a lot of sort of flexibility of taking damage when you might need to. If you can't move, if you can't get away from something, you've got a pretty large buffer before you can before you have to actually proper dodge a mechanic. So it did make me a bit lazy at times, for Uber Maven especially. There was times where I'd just face tank some of this. For Cortex over here, like a lot of the projectiles and hits and stuff, I'd be like, meh, I can take a few hits, no big deal. So it does make you a bit lazy, but at the same time, it is a bit of a nice luxury to be able to afford. So it can be a big positive, but you do have to get used to the playstyle. Like I said, it can be a bit weird, and you definitely have to be, at the end of the day, playing a very dodge based playstyle. So you can't really afford to face tank too many things, I say, as I face tanked a Shaper Slam there accidentally. You can't afford to face tank too many things. It will be dodge based gameplay. It will be learning some mechanics and knowing when to back off and what you should be backing off from, because Dissolution will otherwise fuck you up. You could also take Dissolution out of the build, I suppose, and then have 30% less life, so you get something like 16 or 17k, and then try and recover with life flasks or some shit like that. By all means, you could try something like that. I didn't throughout the entire of the build, because I was just trying to get more and more life, and I was trying to get more and more Ignite damage, and yeah, I was okay with it. The character almost hit level 96, and it was a very enjoyable mapping experience in the end, and the bossing experience was pretty satisfactory as well. So yeah, these are all the Uber bosses. Did Uber Maven. Uber Cirrus, I bricked one time because he was being a real dick, but he's always a real dick. And then the second time we got him down with one death. So doable, but still an absolute nightmare of a fight for something like this. The best way to deal with Cirrus is to have huge amounts of overflow damage so that you basically don't have to deal with the whole fight. And this isn't overflow damage. We still have to actually do some stuff in the end, as you can see. Still have to actually go through a few phases and a few of the mechanics and stuff. And it is tough, and he will kill you, as seen here. If I was maybe shock immune, it would maybe be okay, but nah. And then this is a small test of Flame Blast as well. So Flame Blast has similar damage numbers to Reap, I think, but it relies more on Elemental Overload proccing, and also it is a bit of a tricky one. So this is the new Flame Blast of Contracting that does have a bigger single target if you land your tiny circle thing. If you land it, it feels pretty similar to Reap at its max stacks, but Reap with a Var Reap up I think is a bit better. Either way, it's a bit of a novelty, and it works. Like, you can definitely do Flame Blast if you choose to. Having this big life pool does give you that luxury of being able to stand still and take some hits while charging up your Flame Blast, so that's pretty good. I did several Uber Maven runs with just pure Flame Blast, and it was honestly about the same as Reap for just overall cleanness of the kill. I think I liked Reap a bit more personally, just easier to like right click, not have to really aim as much, but I could see a world in which you could do Flame Blast better or like it more, etc. So these are all the Uber bosses, and then I'll leave you with Uber Maven, just one of the cleaner kills. I did like 7 or 8 Uber Mavens in the end, and a bunch of everything else to test, and it went really well. Very happy with the character. Not too hard to put together, just a bit specific, but there it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the build and the video, and the whole bunch of shenanigans with Ignite and life stacking. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Clicking me on it, thanks 58 months. I'm just gonna straight up go ahead and say, fuck that, I'm not doing it. Just thinking about it now, Annihilation would be awful, Cringe Ground would be awful. Fucking... yeah, there's too much bad. Squash. It would be much worse than Cirrus. Eat is probably doable, yeah. But I can't say I feel like doing that either. Fuck your stupid laser, dude. Oh shit, corpse explode again. What are these bosses, dude?
I will have what I want. This will not be an escape. Scurry, scurry. A cascade of pain. Stand still.
Resistance will be punished. Time contorts. Scurry, scurry.
My irritation is growing. This will not be an escape.
And yeah, dissolution can be really fucking annoying. But like, you take some good, you take some bad.
Scurry, scurry.
If it was just like pure profit, this thing would be fucking overpoweredly broken insane.
Stand still.
Like a lot of the time,
A cascade of pain.
it ain't shit. Nothing's bad.
Do what I say.
And you just get a fuck ton of extra life and flexibility and whatever. And then sometimes it's one of the worst feeling things in the game.
Inescapable.
And you know, you want the good, you have to take some of that bad.
Arrogant toy! Stand still! This will not be an escape. Scurry! Scurry! Take this.
Nope.
A cascade of pain. Do what I say. Stand still.
I'd say that was my cleanest Maven yet. And as such, extremely rewarded. Thank you for the flask, Maven.
The living toy
I
must
had this
enjoy
loot
our
already.
contests.
Dude, I got a work code pen earlier.
To play,
I mean, it's got quality at least. That's cool.
and I should do this again soon.
Perfect roll and movement speed.
Capricious. No,
Dude, if you var like fucking, I don't know,
the
resists
memory
on
of your
this.
sting will fade.
Fuck!